Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Pedophiles of Videos. Today we are back to City Skylines and the Let's Play Road to 1 million population on the hard mode, and as you have seen in the previous episode, the road is quite bumpy. I've had serious problems and issues getting Cims to move into newly built residential buildings, and with these suggestions I was given by you and some other folks on forums and places where I posted the video, I have had some luck getting more Cims to move into those buildings. Now I'm going to show you the next set of problems I have. Now if we take a look at the newest part of the city, one district hasn't yet been named, so please name this district. I have this issue with the boats. I mean, I don't have traffic congestions with cars, which is something that I'll talk about in a moment, but I have a traffic congestion with ships. This place here, this cargo harbor, seems to be creating the most traffic. I'm not sure what's forcing it to create so much traffic, but you can see that they are waiting in two lines to get into this thing, and there's a line trying to get out, and you can see that this line trying to get out is blocking the line that's trying to get in. So I'm probably just gonna have to delete them like this to try and get this to move a little bit, and they're blocked in all the way here. So this is something that I'm going to have to manually unblock as well. The trick is that it isn't so much the new one that's the problem. It's when this one and this one sent out their ships to go back, and when those ships are trying to come in. It's here that they collide with each other and create stoppages like this, because this one is trying to get into the ship lane and this one is trying to continue on with the ship lane. And you can see here how these three ships are not going to stop each other from moving. This one stops to let this one go, then this one stops to let this one go, then this one stops or passes through it, this one. Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to keep watching that. It's insane. Now, let's go back to the traffic. As I was saying, there are no more traffic jams here, and you can see that the average traffic flow is back to 83%. Now, you do remember the huge backstop here, going all the way here, and the huge backstop on the highway. Well, you can see now that the highways are almost completely empty when it comes to vehicles coming in through them, and also there are no large traffic jams here or here. But the consequences of that are that I'm now down to 902,000 population. And the problem with traffic is that when I load up the map, I think I should show you that first. When I load up the map, I no longer have 23,000 vehicles. I end up with around 15,000 vehicles when I was turning off and on mods to see which one is breaking my residential Cims trying to move in. And since then, whenever I load up the game, I have less than 16, 17, sometimes I get 18,000 vehicles active. And the problem with that is that it's not enough vehicles to provide delivery services for all the commercial and industrial areas in the city. And now if I go to the statistics, you can see the effect that has had. I have lost industry from 60,000, it went down to 30,000 because the industry couldn't get its deliveries, and the commercial zones also had a huge issue, but they went from 120,000, I think I can really, around 125,000, they went down to 120,000. And as you can see in the building section, you can see that I'm now at 41,800 buildings. I used to have over 42,000 buildings. So I'm slowly rebuilding those buildings that I lost, those commercial and industry buildings. The commercial buildings can go up faster and I've lost fewer, but the industry, with the problem of not enough vehicles to get those supplies, have broken down, and you can see a lot of empty places where there used to be industrial buildings and where there are now industrial buildings at level 1 or empty fields. And losing all those industrial buildings, and you can see that effect mostly in this area, has led to a decrease in the employment. Let me just go back to that. And you can see that we went from 96% employment down to below 90% to 88%, and then that meant that I lost population. I think population changes here, and you can see here that it's been quite a bumpy road lately, and I've been hitting from 930,000 all the way down to, well, I can't really catch it, but it was below 900,000. So there is a 40,000 population seesaw that happens all the time, and with the additional seesaw, that is the seniors, that go from 13 to 17%, making unemployment larger or smaller. That is an additional issue when trying to balance the working population and to have enough workers for all those buildings. So with the reduction of buildings, I have a reduction of jobs. With the reduction of jobs, I have a reduction of population. Now, hopefully, at some point, the vehicle sector will finally stabilize and there will be enough vehicles there to supply the necessary transportation services for all the industry buildings and commercial buildings in the city. And then these buildings will become stable and the jobs will be stable and the residents living in the residential areas will have jobs and then they'll stay in the city. And as you can see, now that I have tried out all those suggestions you have given me and other folks have given me, I have these new residential buildings here and you can see that they are all filled up. There are good residential buildings, not the bug ones with 9 or 10 households. It's the ones with 25, 26 households. I think I clicked on one that's 16. So yeah, a few bug ones actually do remain, but I can bulldoze those down. And here I once again have all of these buildings that actually built, but 0 households. These are the newest ones, maybe like 20 minutes ago they were built, so I'm gonna give them a chance to see if they're actually gonna build or are they once again bugged. Now, as for the terraforming for the next areas, I have noticed that I was building these areas too low for the terrain and I was going to be left off with a huge mountain that I wouldn't have anywhere to put, because in this game it's a zero-sum game. The soil you take down, you have to go up with it somewhere. So if I was constantly digging down in these areas, I would finally have to put that soil down somewhere. And that is what this project here is for, this huge piece of land here. But I'm going to sculpt it into something, so you're going to see what's going to be there, but in one of the last episodes. That's my plan anyway. But in order to not have to go like a mile high with this area here, I'm trying to raise the land little by little in these fractional steps. So I have 3 or 4 steps here, 3 or 4 steps here, 5 or 6 steps here, then 7 or 8 steps here, and I'm going to keep doing that to increase the height of the land here in order to use up more of the soil and not have to build up a huge mountain here on the edge trying to clear away the soil, to have these low terrain regions build up over here. Now, as we're speaking, you can see that the population doesn't really change much, even though I do have a demand for more commercial zones and office zones. They don't build all of them on the areas that I have zoned. But the thing is that there are so many zones and the city is so huge and humongous and insanely big, and I am now suffering the issues of that, because if there is this small piece like here and there are 5 or 6 industrial buildings remaining to be built here, multiply that with probably 100 or 150, and that's almost 1,000 buildings just on the industry that need to be built up. And you can see that the commercial buildings have built up again because they are faster at that, but the industry, which offers more jobs than the commercial, because commercial gets you 20 out of 20, while the industry gets you, for example, 32 out of 32, so a lot more workers can work in the industry, they take a longer time to build up, and therefore not enough jobs, and with not enough jobs, not enough residents. So with new buildings, the residential buildings over here, I could probably have 950,000 population, if not more. But with the low number of jobs and with the high number of unemployment, I cannot have those additional Cims. So I just have to be patient, and you can see that as we were talking, the number of buildings has gone up. But like I said, because simply of the huge size of the city, and I think it just went down, so down and up. 41, 42, 41, 42. Please tell me you can go up to 43. It kind of does generally go up, but sometimes you can see that there's a seesaw effect where it goes down a little bit. And they do go abandoned because of this is the even crazier part. You do see all the pop-ups saying not enough workers. Well, these are the buildings that require uneducated folks, as my education is mostly highly educated. Those are the level 1 industry buildings that require low educated or uneducated folks, and they have a problem then getting those folks and actually leveling up. But it kind of happens, so it's not that big of an issue. It's just kind of a illogical issue when you take a look at the unemployment percentages, that buildings would actually say that they do not have enough workers, but they do not have enough workers of the kind that they want, because I only have 1% of uneducated in the entire city, and with that small percentage these buildings have a hard time getting enough workers to just start operating. And then as soon as they go up to level 2 and 3, it's easier for them because they use educated or highly educated workforce, which I have plenty of. But like I said, the main problem is getting more jobs, and the problem of getting more jobs is getting more buildings to be built up, and that is because it's so slow. It's gone up to 44 now, finally. So you can see just how slow this is. I've played probably 50 hours by now, and I haven't really moved up past that 938,000 population that I had a few videos ago. So while I was hoping, oh my god, what? I'm not even gonna. So like I said, because it totally breaks my concentration. Okay, because I need time to just wait for all these buildings to settle down and hope that I won't have another mass abandonment due to traffic issues and the lack of vehicles. This let's play is gonna go on for a bit longer. Please stay with me and hope, and no, don't hope, believe that I'm going to get to 1 million population. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more videos.